Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. So today is a special video again because it's the challenge number 6 of our German collaboration team. I will tell you a little bit later, but let me first show you how I'm mixing my colors. I mix here some resin ink and it's the Smurf. So I put a couple of drops into my resin. I'm using here the ARTPro resin from Resin Pro. It's a medium viscosity resin and it has a working time from round about 90 minutes, so 1.5 hours. And I let my resin sit for 20 minutes so it would thicken up a little bit. Next color I'm using is the Night Blue. It's a wonderful blue tone and I thought it's matching quite well with the Smurf. The resin inks are from Octopus Fluids. I really adore and I like to play with them. I use them for the 3D blooms. I use them as a tint, so they are very, very beautiful. And as you can see, I'm stirring my resin very, very well, so I don't have any streaks or anything in my cup. So my next color is a mica powder, and this is the Interference Blue. I thought maybe I can get a little bit of a sheen to my pour, so I'm also stirring this very, very well. And I love working with interference colors. It's always so much fun and they give really a nice result. And do you see the blue sheen? It's wonderful. The next color is the pigment drops, and I'm adding some drops into my cup. I think in total it were like 5 or 6 drops. And I'm also stirring my resin very, very well. So the challenge number 6 was chosen by Marion Richter, and she asked for the seashell technique. And I thought I'm using the feather mold from CraftsmenStore, and I think it's perfect for this technique. It's a small feather, and yeah, I just like playing around with this. It's a very beautiful mold. You see that I'm now stirring my resin again, so everything is perfectly mixed in and I don't have any traces of anything. So the German collaboration, we are 6 artists, and there's Sandra Rettich. There is ARTOFCHESHIRECA, Rebecca. There is Pure Pour by Nicole Martin. There is Petras Bunte Glitzerwelt, which is Petra, of course. And there's Marion Richter, who has chosen this, this technique for us to pour. The seashell technique is a technique I did together with Sandra Rettich, and we worked on this some years ago, and it's in fact a beautiful technique. Yeah, and I need to say that I'm also participating in the collab. I didn't mention my name, but I guess this goes without saying. Anyway, I'm drizzling here some glass stones and a little bit of a mixture into my mold. And I think I like this very much when you have, when you sprinkle all these bits and bobs into your mold, because it gives a nice result. So I'm busy a little bit with this and then I can start pouring, and I'm starting at the one side of the feather and I'm pouring the Smurf. You see it, it's a beautiful color, and I try to push my resin towards the end. So it always takes a while till the resin is really traveling, but this is my first color. Now I'm taking the Night Blue and I'm pouring further just from the very end of the mold. I always try to be very close to the most narrow place of the mold, and then let the resin really float. Sometimes it's not easy, but you can see it's traveling, so I'm very happy about this. Now there's the interference blue, and look at this nice sheen it gives. Really happy about it. It's very beautiful. Anyway, there's also a playlist of all our challenges from the collab, of all the 6 challenges we did as artists, and please check it out and check out every video, because you know the other artists, they are doing so amazing work. Just have a look for them and yeah, enjoy watching. Here's my last color, the white, and I'm pouring this also from the very narrow part, and you can see my resin still needs to travel, but it will be fine at the end. And now I'm taking my mold a little bit up, so I help a little bit with floating, and now I'm pouring my last, yeah, it's not a color, it's a clear resin, and I'm pushing out the colors. So I'm so curious how this is gonna work. This mold, by the way, holds 120 grams of resin. It's not very much. And when you mix more and you do your final push, you really need to be careful that you are not overfilling your mold, or that you have not any accidents or whatsoever. It's already looking very interesting and I really like it. And I like that I have the tip of the feather, that it's really darker, and I hope it stays like this, because I think it gives also a lot more depth. But I'm also helping here a little bit the resin traveling, yeah, and then letting it slide back, slightly move back, and then I'm taking some stones which I have to hand, and I work them into this lower part where I put my colors and where I also put the clear resin. I put those stones in this part because I think it always has a nice finishing, especially where you pour your clear and then you would have a big hole of clear, and I think this doesn't look too good. So I'm just working this in, and you can already see, you know, when you look at the white, that something is happening. And yeah, I'm so curious if I achieve some nice effects on the other side and how the feather is looking. It's always a challenge working with resin, but yeah, when things are working out, it's so well worth it. But anyway, now I'm putting you on a time lapse where you can see how the resin is moving, what it's doing. It was really closing very nicely, and I think also the pouring side looks very interesting. Anyway, this is now a little bit of a close-up, and there you can see all the effects. You know, it looks like holes, but when you achieve this, mostly you get some nice effects also on the other side. So fingers crossed it will work. I'm also so curious what the other artists did. I guess everyone has somehow a different mold design, or yeah, just pour something, you know, how they interpretate this technique, because it doesn't need to be how I'm pouring it or how Sandra's pouring it. Everyone can pour it the way they want to, and this is always interesting about resin art. But anyway, I can get this out of the mold. I need to be careful because it's still rather bendy, but it has cured, so don't worry about it. I just try to be very careful that I'm not ruining what I've done. And I also want to make it, or to bend it a little bit. It won't be a bowl, but it will be a nice sort of tray, but a little bit bended. And look at this. Look at this, where the crackles or the sort of crackles start from nothing, and then you have the small parts and it moves into bigger crackles. And like I said, I was first a little bit disappointed that the resin didn't move all the way, but I like having the tip like this. It's transparent, but you have hints of the interference blue on the tip of the feather. And yeah, I like it also with all the glass stones. Sometimes I had really transparent glass stones, and there you can look through, and I just like it. I like it very, very much. And now let me just grab my feather, my bowl, so I can put the feather into the bowl. Yeah, I needed to search my bowl because it's somewhere, I don't know, but I'm there, you see. And now I'm just putting the feather into the bowl. I didn't leave it to fully cure. It was still a little bit flexible when I took it out. And then I just placed it on a table and let it just drop down again, you know what I mean? So that the bends of this feather are not as extreme, and I really like it. So anyway, this is the final result, and I'm so happy. Look at this. It's so cute, and it's a nice decoration piece, and I love the color. The smurf is amazing. So anyway, with this, I love and leave you. I thank you for watching, and please take a look at all the other videos of the other artists and take good care of yourself. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.